Okay, Scotty, we're playing the game. You mentioned a watch.
Yes, I was talking before about a two-piece collection. So within a brand,
meal deal.
So Rolex before I was talking. Explore 1 and 2.
Yes.
As a great
collection.
Two-piece collection within Rolex.
Yes.
Another two-piece.
Yep, you mentioned one.
Okay, Rolex.
In Rolex?
In Rolex.
Well, I tell you what I think is a fantastic collection. Okay, how's this sound? One steel sports Rolex.
Give me the model.
Okay, like we could say, you could go Submariner.
Sub.
And you could go two-tone Datejust as a dress. So you got the sub for recreational wear, and you got the Datejust for workwear. Two very, and I mean you could also go. We could even take it further. We could say no date steel sub, and a steel Datejust. So both steel.
Okay.
How does that as a two-piece combo deal?
Yeah.
No date sub and a steel Datejust. 16.
Very different pieces.
2, 3, 4, like that type of genre.
Okay.
You flick me another one.
I'd probably another within Rolex. I'd maybe have a Datejust and a President.
I think that's actually, I didn't warm to that. Like I like the idea of the two Explorers, but a Datejust and a President. I don't know if it grabs me. It doesn't. Okay. I don't know if it grabs me. I would definitely say. I tell you what, I would really say as a really cool combo. You could also do two-tones. Okay. Two-tone Datejust and a two-tone Bluesy.
Mm.
What do you think of that as a combo deal?
Yeah.
Or you could do. I always thought it was a good idea. This is what I loved as a two-piece Rolex collection. No date sub. And an Explorer 2 white polar, because you got one's got a date, one doesn't have a date. One's white, one's black dial. You've got one that's a chrono, one that's a diver. Sorry, so not a chrono. You've got one that's a GMT and one that's a diver. Very, very.
There's just so many different.
But isn't that a great two-piece combo deal?
Yeah, I mean any two pieces probably work within Rolex. How about something more difficult? Maybe Omega.
Well, Omega, Speedmaster, and Explorer 2 would be the.
No. Within Omega, two pieces.
Two Omegas.
Within Omega, yeah.
I don't know if there's two Omegas I like.
You have to.
Well, I would say, okay, well, Omega, you'd have to go Speedmaster and Seamaster, wouldn't you?
Yes. Which Seamaster?
I think the classic automatic.
The Bond?
Diver. Yeah, the Bond diver.
Okay.
I think.
Blue or black?
It doesn't really matter. And a Speedmaster.
Wave dial or what's that? Glossy dial? I
kind of like the wave dial, right?
Okay.
But that's not to say that it's superior to the other ones. You know, I think there's I would say an Omega, a classic Omega diver, and a classic Omega Speedmaster would be cool.
Yes.
I think you could also do. Remember, Omega's got that trilogy for the 60th anniversary. They got a Railmaster, Speedmaster, and a Seamaster. That set is really cool. I think that's a really nice three-piece.
Okay. Breitling. Two pieces.
Two pieces in Breitling.
Yes.
Okay, I think you'd have to pick one as a Navitimer because that's classic.
Has to be.
And I would say as a second Breitling, I'd go for a Super Ocean because they're amazing divers. Like they go really deep.
You'd have to go Heritage.
Depends on your budget. Depends on, because you got to remember the standard Super Ocean. They're pretty cheap.
Yes.
Pretty
the Heritage
cheap.
Is that any more expensive than?
Yeah, on the used market they're more wanted.
It just looks nicer.
Oh, they look cool. They really. I love the Heritage, but they're expensive on the secondary market. They are expensive. I would say if you want bang per buck, a Navitimer. Okay, the dog. I would say a Chronomat and a Super Ocean. That'd be a good cheap discount deal, two-piece Breitling collection.
Yes.
If you've got a bit more money, I would go Navitimer with a Super Ocean Heritage.
Okay.
Okay, depends on how much money you've got.
If you only had maybe $4,000, how about you dip into quartz? The professional range. You know, that's that pilot range with the
they're ugly.
Digital
Colt.
analog.
They got the Colt. Remember the Colt? Breitling Colt? That's cheap as chips.
Yeah. Okay. JLC.
JLC's, actually I'll tell you this now, with JLC I'd probably pair that, because JLC is a high-end brand that's soft as shit, right?
But 2 pieces within the JLC range.
Let me give you a combo deal. I reckon 2 pieces, JLC, you know what I'd love to have? Listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't shoot me down. Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso Grand Date.
Yep.
And IWC Ingenua, because they're both retail dogs.
Yes.
Jaeger-LeCoultre is soft as shit now.
Mm.
IWC can be a bit soft. So these are slow-moving dogs. The Reverso's got a whitish creamy dial, and the IWC's got a blacky bluey dial.
Mm-hmm.
They're both really contradictory, and both are as hard to sell as each other.
So if you had to stick with 2 JLCs...
Okay, 2 JLCs, very, very simple. Very, very easy to solve that one.
Yes.
I'd go some sort of Reverso.
Yep.
And that could be like a Reverso tribute to 1931.
Yes.
And Master Control. That's their dress watch, circular dress type watch.
Just a 3-hander, something simple.
No. I'd be going, well, I mean, you could get that if you were really short of money.
Yes.
But if you wanted good bang, if you're buying it second hand, I'd be going for, like, they got a great moon phase.
Okay.
Power reserve indicators on it. They got some really cool Master Controls.
IWC, 2 pieces.
2-piece IWC deal. Very, very interesting indeed. I would say a couple of ways you could go. Okay, now I'm not. I could easily say Ingenua because I like the Ingenua, but let's do it a little bit differently. IWC, you'd have to go some sort of Portuguese.
Yes.
And the other one would be I'd go for a big Pilot.
Yes.
Or
that would work.
Or if you wanted to, you could go for the IWC. I would go IWC Portuguese and an IWC
Aquatimer, is it?
Aquatimer. What do you think of
Cousteau,
that?
maybe a Cousteau.
Yes, that sort of genre of watch. What do you think?
Yeah, that'd be okay. Tag.
I tell you what I would get in Tag, okay? Because I would say Monaco.
Yes.
I like the Monaco.
Yep.
Right, that's their squarish.
Has to be
watch.
blue.
Yep, I like the blue. The black's not terrible.
They've kind of ruined that. The Monaco now, they got it with stripes. You get black, white dials, orange stripes.
Anything.
Yeah.
So I would say Monaco.
Yep.
And the second tag you could go for would be I like the classic Carrera chronograph.
Mm-hmm.
So 2-piece chronograph. Because Heuer...
Because there's not many really other pieces that you could really get there, is there, that are any good?
Look, I don't mind, to be honest with you, the Formula 1 GMT. It's a copy of the Batman in a cheap way.
Yes.
You know, the blue bezel? Blue and...
Scraping the...
I know, but...
Yeah.
You know, that's...
Okay.
Kind of cool in a cheap way.
Oris, do you know the Oris models well enough to pick 2 pieces?
Yeah, I just don't buy any. Absolute. Nothing in Oris I really like. Do you?
Oh, I think you could do well with. Yeah, there's a few models that you could.
Like what?
Get there. Well, they've got a few divers.
You really like Oris that much?
They're pro pilots. They got pro pilots, which are okay.
I don't know whether I'd be recommending if you're going to buy 2 Orises, why don't you buy one decent watch?
They've got in-house movements now with a 10-day power reserve.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd prefer an Oris than a Tag.
But wouldn't you rather, instead of getting 2 Orises, wouldn't you be better off to get like a Speedmaster?
You could, but just have to pick 2 pieces, I guess. Patek, 2 pieces.
2 pieces.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a hard one, you know. I love my Pateks. I think for Patek you'd have to say this. You'd go for 1 Nautilus.
Yes,
you have to have a Nautilus. Got to have a Nautilus. It's so
Nautilus,
cool. 5711, the classic Nautilus. You know, 3-hand with the date.
Yes.
And then you would say you want one Nautilus, and you'd also want 1 precious metal on a leather strap.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon you'd go for like an annual calendar.
Yes.
Or a world time.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I'd probably say that the 5146, which is the classic annual calendar, or maybe the New World Time.
I wish that Patek never did a Nautilus or Aquanaut with a, what is it called? Not the... Is that what it is?
What's that? Sorry, the Aquanaut. Yeah.
The
Aquanaut
with no date. Did they ever do it with no date?
The Aquanaut, you mean?
Yeah, or the Nautilus. Did they ever do that with no...
That's a good...
With no date? Did they ever produce? I don't think they did.
I don't think they did. Do you like a no date?
Yeah, I'd like them to do a Nautilus with no date.
Oh, gee, that'd
be nice and clean. Yeah, I'd like that.
Ooh, okay.
Audemars?
Audemars. Look, I think with Audemars itself there, the only Audemars worth getting are the Audemars Royal Oaks. Anything else non-Royal Oak is a shitter.
So you'd get a Royal Oak. And then
you'd get the classic Royal Oak, like a 15400.
Yes.
And I'd get an offshore, you know, the Royal Oak offshore diver.
Okay.
How's that? Wouldn't that be super?
Well, they got nice chronos as well. Or...
Yes, they do. So expensive to service when they go wrong.
Okay.
$5,000, you know that? $5,000 service bill if something's not 100%. That'll give you a third and fourth asshole. I would say, no, I've got to tell you, okay, you could go for a classic Royal Oak and a Royal Oak offshore chronograph.
Have you missed out any brands?
Any brands worth considering? That's a very good question. What else could be a two-piece? We did Omega.
Yes.
We did Rolex.
Yes.
We did IWC. We did Breitling.
JLC. Patek, there's probably...
What about Breguet?
Oh, Breguet. Okay.
What would you do with Breguet?
I don't know enough about their models other than the Type 20. And the Breguet Marine, is that a...
That's their diver.
That nice piece.
I don't know if I'd buy one. You know, you could do a Marine and a Type 20. Yeah, that'd be a great... Because a lot of the other Breguets are very, very dear. You know, because they're precious metal, like a Le Traditionnel. They're furious pricing. Furious. Two-piece combos. Very interesting, Scotty.